Saint Thomas Aquinas is also known as the Ox of Sicily and the Angelic Doctor. He was an Italian Dominican friar and priest, an influential philosopher and theologian, and a jurist in the tradition of scholasticism from the country of Aquino in the Kingdom of Sicily. Thomas Aquinas was born on January 28, 1225, at his father's Count Landulf's castle of Rosaseca in the Kingdom of Naples. His family was of noble origin. His parents were the Counts of Aquino, Landulfs of Aquino, and Doña Teodora Galusio. Thomas Aquinas was born the youngest son to a Sicilian noble family in 1225. Summa Theologica seeks to describe the relationship between God and man and to explain how man's reconciliation with the divine is possible at all through Christ. Summa Theologica examines the nature and purpose of man. The Summa Theologica is divided into three parts. The first part covers the nature of God, creation, angels, man, and divine government or sovereignty. The second part addresses ethics, habits, law, faith, wisdom, self-control, morality, prophecy, miracles, and the contemplative life. The third part instructs the reader on the doctrine of Christ, including his incarnation, life, death, and resurrection. In the same section, Aquinas addresses the need of sacrament in the remission of sins. A majority of the third section is devoted to explain the sacraments. Aquinas' five proofs for the existence of God. The argument from motion. Aquinas' first demonstration of God's existence is the argument from motion. He drew from Aristotle's observation that each thing in the universe that moves is moved by something else. Aristotle reasoned that the series of movers must have begun with a first or prime mover that had not itself been moved or acted upon by any other agent. Aristotle sometimes called this prime mover God. Aquinas understood it as the God of Christianity. The argument from efficient cause. The second of the five ways, the argument from causation, builds upon Aristotle's notion of an efficient cause, the entity or event responsible for a change in a particular thing. Because every efficient cause must itself have an efficient cause, and because there cannot be an infinite chain of efficient causes, there must be an immutable first cause of all the changes that occur in the world, and this first cause is God. Pinapakita sa second argument ni Aquinas na lahat ng bagay ay nangyayari dahil mayroon itong dahilan. Walang pinagmumulan ang isang bagay kung walang gumagawa nito. Halimbawa, kung wala kang itinanim, wala ka ring aanihin. Dito pinapakita na ang Diyos ang nagsimula ng lahat. Siya ang gumawa ng lahat ng bagay dito sa mundo at lahat ng mga ito ay ginawa niya ng may dahilan. The argument from necessary being. In this third argument, Aquinas finds that things in the natural world depend on other things for their existence. You could not be born without your parents. A tree cannot grow without receiving sunlight and water. Aquinas thought there must be something not dependent on other things for its existence, and upon which everything else rests on for its own existence. For Thomas Aquinas, that thing is God. The argument from gradation. The fourth argument is about degrees of good things. Aquinas argued that we need a scale to measure the value of things as bigger or smaller, greater or lesser, and better as opposed to worse. To have a measurement system, we need something of the highest perfection, goodness, and truth to measure by, and from which to obtain those qualities which is God.
The argument from design. All things have an order arrangement that leads them to particular goal, because the order of the universe cannot be the result of chance, design, and purpose must be at work. This implies divine intelligence on the part of the designer, this God. Ang lahat ng mga nangyayari sa mundo may mga rason at hindi nangyayari ng aksidente. Ang lahat ay pinaplano ng Panginoon at ginawa ng may kadahilanan. tulad ng bawat bagay, hayop at tao, at maging ang mga pangyayari, ginawa ng Panginoon na may kadahilanan. At ang bawat buhay at mga nangyayari ay may iisang dahilan. Yun ay mapurihan ng Panginoon. Ito ang isang rason kung bakit ang bawat isa ay may buhay. Saint Thomas Aquinas, also known as Thomas of Aquino, was a medieval philosopher and theologian who lived from 1225 to 1274. He is considered one of the most influential thinkers in the Catholic tradition and a leading figure in the scholastic school of thought. Si Saint Thomas Aquinas ay mas kilala sa pangalang Thomas Aquino, isang medieval philosopher at theologian. Pinanganak noong 1225 year to 1274. He is considered one of the most influential thinkers in the Catholic tradition. Aquinas was born in Roccasecca, Italy, and at the age of 14, he began his studies at the University of Naples. Later, he joined the Dominican order against his family's wishes. He continued his education in Paris, where he studied under the renowned philosopher Albertus Magnus. Si Thomas Aquinas ay pinanganak sa Roccasecca, Italy, at the age of 14, nag-aral siya sa University of Naples. And later on, he joined the Dominican order laban sa kanyang pamilya. He continued his education sa Paris, where he studies under the renowned philosopher. Aquinas is best known for his synthesis of Christian theology with Aristotelian philosophy. Si Saint Thomas Aquinas ay nakilala sa kanyang theology, Summa Theologica, na kung saan nakapaloob dito ang moral bilang tao at ang mga pangaral ng Panginoon. Sa kanyang teolohiya ay maraming nakapanloob dito tulad ang iba't ibang idea ni Saint Aquinas patungkol sa Panginoon at pagkakaroon ng moral at pagiging mabuting tao. Sa kanyang teorya ay nakalagay ang 5 way o mas kilala bilang 5 groups na kung saan nakalagay dito ang observation ni Saint Aquinas patungkol sa ating mundo at sa mga mangyayari upang mapatunayan ang existence ng ating Panginoon. Aquinas emphasized the importance of natural law, arguing the moral principles could be derived from the natural of human beings and the world. Si Saint Thomas Aquinas at pinahalagaan niya din ang nature natin bilang tao at ito ay nakabase sa ating moral at gayon din sa ating pag-iisip. Ang tao ay likas na may sariling desisyon na kung saan meron tayong freedom upang pumili bilang tao. Ang mga teorya ni Saint Aquinas ay hanggang ngayon ay pinag-uusapan at pinagdedebatihan dahil sa kanyang malalaking kontribusyon patungkol sa ating relihiyon. Pinagdedebatihan ito ng mga scholar at ng mga Catholic churches dahil sa kanyang teorya.
Saint Anselm. Si Saint Anselm ay isang Benedictine monk, abbot, philosopher at theologian ng isang Catholic Church. Siya ay nasa pwesto ng Archbishop of Canterbury mula noong 1093 hanggang 1109. After his death, he was canonized as saint. Yung feast day niya is kapag 21st of April, and he was proclaimed as a doctor of the church by Papa Bull of Pope Clement XI noong 1720. His notable contributions includes yung ontological argument for existence of God and the significance of writings of theology. Ito yung mga notable contributions ni Saint Anselm. Ontological argument. Yung ontological argument is ito yung pinaka-famous na contributions ni Saint Anselm. And nakapresent sa kanyang work dito is yung Proslegion. At ina-argue dito that God is the greatest conceivable being and existence is a part of perfection. Therefore, God must exist, sinasabi dito. Cur Des Homo, or Why God Became a Man. Dito, si Anselm is in-explore niya yung necessity ng incarnation at ina-address dito is ano nga ba yung purpose ng Christ's redemption. Monologian at proslogian. Sa monologian, si Anselm is diniscuss na yung various aspects of God's nature and attributes. Sa proslogian naman is present niya yung ontological argument and yung meditation of God's existence. Life of Saint Anselm. Saint Anselm of Canterbury is pinanganak noong 1033. Siya ay isang Italian Benedictine monk, philosopher, theologian. He became Archbishop of Canterbury noong 1093 and played a crucial role sa medieval scholasticism. Saint Anselm contribution. Si Anselm is pinormulate niya yung famous theological argument for the existence of God. Sinasuggest niya that God is that which nothing greater than be conceived. Faith and reason. Si Saint Anselm is ina-advocate niya yung capability of faith and reason. Ina-emphasize niya yung importance of understanding and belief. Cur Des Homo, or Why God Became a Man. Yung theological work ni Anselm dito is in-explore na yung necessity of incarnation for human salvation.
Ang pamamaraan ng Anselm at kung aling bahagi nito ang dapat isaalang-alang bilang philosophy o theology ay matagal nang pinag-uusapan na tanong. Ang mga sagot at ang kanilang mga dahilan ay nakasalalay sa kaisipan ng tao sa philosophy at theology at ang kanilang pagkakaiba at interactions. Ang issue na to ay isinasantabi para magtuon ng tatlong pangunahing tampok na gawa ni Anselm. Ang original na readers para sa kanyang mga sulatin ay mga monghe ng Benedictine na naghahanap ng mas buong pangunawa sa Kristiyanong pananampalataya at humihingi na si Anselm ay magbigay ng isang pahayag nito sa isang anyo na lubos na iba kaysa sa mga karaniwan at tradisyonal na mga panahon nila. Kung saan ang mga pag-uusap ng theological ay sinasagawa sa pangunahing pamamagitan ng pagbanggit at interpretasyon ng kasulatan at mga otoridad na patristic. Ang layunin ng mga tratado ni Anselm ay hindi magbigay ng isang philosophical na kapalit para sa Kristiyanong pananampalataya o upang irrationalis o systematic ito lamang sa ilaw na likas na rason. Sa halip, sa mga kaso ng monologian at proslogian, siya ay naglalayon na gamitin ang meditation sa pamamagitan ng mga pagkukunan ng rason at mga pangunahing aspeto ng Kristiyanong pananampalataya. Ang prologue ng proslogian ay nagbibigay ng medyo iba, ngunit malinaw na kaugnay na motibo para sa paglikha nito. Sa isang argumentong ito, matatapos ang malaking pagsisikap at kahirapan. Isunulat ni Anselm ito at ilang pang kaugnay na mga paksa sa interes na ibahagi ang saya na ibinigay nito sa kanya o sa di kaya ay mapasaya ang isa sa mga nagbabasa nito.
So the last saint of our topic is Saint Augustine of Hippo. So who is Saint Augustine of Hippo? Saint Augustine of Hippo, isa siyang bishop ng Hippo from 396 to 430 BC. Isa siyang Latin father ng simbahan and isa siyang makabuluhang Christian thinker after ni St. Paul. Si Augustine is inadapt niya yung mga classical thought ng Christian teaching and ginawa niya ito para sa theological system ng great power and mag-lasting influence. Iilan sa kanyang mga written works is napakalaga at isa na dito ang Confession and the City of God. Bali, pinag-aralan nito para sa mga biblical exegesis and tinulungan nito para mabuo ng maayos. So, in Roman Catholicism, si St. Augustine Hippo, isa siyang formally recognized as a doctor of the church. Bali, isa siyang parang doktor sa kanilang simbahan na kung saan tinutulungan niya doon yung mga sinaunang tao. So here's the other works of Saint Augustine of Hippo, but none of Augustine's other works has the currency or readership of his two masterpieces or his greatest interest of the following. So the first one is Christian Doctrine of Saint Augustine. So what is Christian Doctrine of Saint Augustine? Nag-start ito nung first year ni Agustin sa episcopacy, pero natapos din siya after 30 years later. So, ang balak ni Cicero's orator sa Christian purpose is mabuo yung theory ng interpretation sa scripture and offers practical guidance to the would-be preacher. So, the next one is the Trinity. Ang Trinity is itong longest-lasting theological controversies of 4th century focused on the Christian doctrine of the Trinity. So, ang work ni Saint Augustine of Hippo is mas nag-focus siya dito sa the Trinity kasi ito yung parang pinagkakaguluhan ng mga tao noong 4th centuries and nag-focus sila dito aside sa ibang written works ni Augustine. So, the third one is literal commentary on Genesis. So, ang literal commentary on Genesis is a two-creation narrative na about kay Augustine na sinulat ni Genesis. Sinulat ito at ginawa noong 390s to the early 410s. And sinulat ito at least 5 sustained treatises on those chapters. So, the last one is sermons. Almost 1/3 sa mga sinulat at ginawa ni Agustin is nag-survive and nagko-consist lahat ito ng sermons na more than 1.5 million words. Most sa mga tinake down notes ni Agustin is shorthand scribes as he spoke extemporaneously. And nagko-cover ito ng wide range and merong mga simple expositions sa scripture na binasa ni ito ng malakas at particular according to church rules itong mga sinabi ni Agustin dito sa sermons. So, si Agustin isa siyang remarkable dahil sa kanyang mga ginawa at sa mga kanyang sinulat. At ang mga kanyang written works is nag-survive until now and na-figure nila na i-recon ito. Pero, ang mga structure would have been more nearly that of some his contemporaries. However, more than sa kanyang 5 million words na sinulat is nag-survive, pero other than 5 million words na sinulat ni Saint Augustine of Hippo is nawala.